All of our channel's bank accounts have been blocked in the UK without any explanation. And here's the official statement RT received from the bank.
We have recently undertaken a review of your banking arrangements with us and reached the conclusion that we will no longer provide these facilities. Our decision is final, and we are not prepared to enter into any discussion in relation to it.
Yeah, has there been any explanation at all of the bank's decision?
Well, Marina, no, actually, because this letter became the only source of information when it comes to this issue. This was a letter that RT offices received here in London earlier today, basically just saying that we're going to cancel and close your accounts in the 2 next months to come. So this is all that we know currently, and it is, in fact, as far as we understand, according to existing regulations here in the UK, it is more or less normal procedure for a bank to not have to offer explanation. However, in this particular case, we do have to keep in mind that RT has been a customer of this bank for longer than 10 years and had not received any warnings or any kind of information in terms of the bank having any kind of concerns about having dealings with RT. What we do know for now, of course, is that lawyers are continuing to check what this means in a wider scope of things, and RT is waiting to find out whether or not this is going to have any kind of wider consequences, or this is just a problem that exists with this one particular bank. Again, like I said, a customer for longer than a decade. Well, exactly what all of this means is something that we're going to find out hopefully in the hours to come, considering this is something that RT is looking into heavily to see what kind of further implications this is going to have. What we do know for now is that this one letter came earlier today informing RT here in London that all bank accounts will be shut down.
It seems when the UK decided to leave the EU, they also left all of their freedom of speech obligations there. Looks like they're leaving all bad habits behind.
The Wikileaks chief, Julian Assange, has been severed from his key lifeline of the internet in what is being called an intentional state act. That is according to a post on the organization's official Twitter page. The web is one of the links Assange has to the wider world, considering he's been holed up inside the Ecuadorian embassy in London for more than 4 years. Expected development considering how long he's been stuck inside the embassy. What more do we know?
Yeah, that's right. Julian Assange's internet is down, and considering he has been stuck inside this building for over 4 years now, you can understand that the internet for him, it's not just very important for his work as editor of Wikileaks, it's also a vital lifeline, his only link really to the outside world. But a few hours ago, the official Wikileaks Twitter account wrote a message saying that Julian Assange's internet link has been intentionally severed by what they said was a state party. And they also said, we have activated appropriate contingency plans. Now, RT have got in touch with the Ecuadorian embassy to find out whether this is an ongoing issue. They haven't yet responded to us, so the details of how the internet went down and whether or not it was in fact the work of a state player, they are still unclear. But if it is indeed a state party, then well, there's a pretty big pool of potential candidates to choose from, considering how many uncomfortable truths WikiLeaks as an organization have released. Now, over the past 6 months, WikiLeaks have been playing a big role in the US presidential elections, especially by releasing the emails relating to Hillary Clinton's campaign, and especially those Podesta leaks, which contain quite a few embarrassing facts about the Democratic presidential nominee's campaign.
Meanwhile, as promised, WikiLeaks has been publicly releasing daily batches of leaked emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman. And RT's been quick to report on those leaks. It's led to accusations, though, from the West that WikiLeaks and Russia are somehow linked.
This is how the latest chapter unfolded in the accusations that Russia's been meddling in the US election campaign. It all started with a tweet. RT America tweeted about the release of a batch of emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, which had been made public by WikiLeaks. And here comes journalist Christopher Miller, who spotted that RT tweeted about the release of the leaks earlier than WikiLeaks itself. He was quick to jump to conclusions that this meant that RT knew about the published material earlier than it was released. That idea spread like wildfire. Clinton's camp was quick to pick it up. Its press secretary, Brian Fallon, claimed the tweet meant it was solid evidence that Russia has been interfering in the American presidential race. After that came an official response from Wikileaks denying the accusations and pointing out that leaks were available for all to see on the website. But the story continued to grow bigger. Next thing you know, CNN ran with a breaking news story about growing evidence that Russia was supplying Wikileaks with hacked emails. The sources, well, unnamed.
There is growing evidence that Russia is using WikiLeaks as a delivery vehicle for hacked emails and other information. U.S. officials with knowledge of the investigation tell CNN.
One more link in the chain, the politicians. And we hear this from a Democratic senator.
I don't think there's any question that Russia is involved. Russia is trying to influence this campaign.
So here you go. In less than a day, one random tweet is enough to make the mass media and U.S. politicians 100% positive that Russia is again to blame. Now we just have to wait and see if the scandal will make it to the highest level and have officials from the State Department or the White House making their statements. After all, we've seen it play out exactly like this before. This summer, what started as a reference to an unnamed or anonymous source disclosing alleged Russian hacking of the Democratic campaign has ended with an official U.S. intelligence confirmation. And a 3-paragraph report with lots of confidence, but not a single shred of proof. Well, even though the U.S. authorities claim there's an official investigation underway into Russia's involvement, it seems we're unlikely to ever see any of its results.
I'll let the FBI speak to what evidence they've been able to amass, but I think they're also cognizant of the fact that as soon as they make a declaration like that, most people are going to understandably be interested in seeing that evidence. And some of that evidence may not be something that we want to show.
No, Mr. Ernest, please show us the evidence. The whole world is eager to see some kind of evidence. But let's remember, this is nothing new, just a part of the old strategy called blame Russia.
So if this was indeed the work of a state player, or if it was indeed the work of Hillary Clinton, then perhaps putting Julian Assange offline, leaving him with no internet, is still a less drastic measure than, quote, just droning the guy. Take a look at this.
WikiLeaks has dropped another bomb on Clinton. Apparently, she wanted to drop a bomb on Julian Assange. We just droned this guy.
He came, we saw, he died. If I'm the president, we will attack Iran.
We got special ops forces. I mean, a dead man can't leak stuff. This guy's a traitor, a treasonous, illegally shoot the son of a...